Welcome to Greenable Woodbridge. I am your host, Carolyn Ehrlich, and today we have a very interesting topic. As I had to study and research a little bit to understand this, and I learned so much, I'm sure that you, the viewers, are going to learn a lot. And the subject today is lithium batteries and what they are for our future. There are many, many pros and what the issues are with them. And I have here with me today two experts in the field. So Carol, if I pronounce your name wrong, just correct me. Carol Tomaszewicz. Tomaszewicz, I should know that. So, and you are the coordinator of Middlesex County Recycling. And you're also on the legislative committee for, what is the name of this organization?
So I am on the board, as is Wayne, for the Association of New Jersey Recyclers, who is the voice of recycling in New Jersey. It's made up of private businesses, public officials, and anyone having anything to do with recycling. And we work to educate and talk about the issues, raise awareness about certain problems, and it's a great organization to belong to.
It absolutely is. And maybe if we have time at the end, we'll talk about the new food waste legislation that is about to be enacted, because I think it was due in October. So we'll save that for later, because it's a little off topic. But and then we have Wayne DeFeo with us, which is you are the principal of DeFeo Associates, and I might be able to have you modestly say that you are probably one of the first people who started looking at recycling and what to do, along with all of the other issues that you are a sustainability consultant, you do energy, and you're the expert in this whole field.
I don't know if I go that far, but I'll take it.
You'll take it, okay. So lithium batteries are clearly going to lead us into the future for a more sustainable future, a fossil-free energy future, and just a cleaner, good future. But it's also has its downsides. So what I want to do is first talk about all of the great things that lithium batteries are going to be bringing us. And then after we paint this beautiful picture, we will talk about the issues that comes with these lithium batteries. So my first question is, what is a lithium battery?
Very good question. It's like being back in chemistry, teaching again.
Yes.
You want to take it?
So a lithium battery just uses lithium ion to charge and discharge the battery by having lithium move between the negative and positive electrodes. Now that's the technical term. But lithium batteries are a huge advancement because they can hold a lot of power in a small device. And they're getting smaller and more powerful as the years go on. So they make a perfect battery for devices such as cell phones, your laptops, tablets, power tools, toys. How many drones do we have flying around?
Right.
So they are getting, as I said,
I don't know if I'd call drones toys.
they are toys, I think.
I think they're toys. I agree.
So yeah, they're making advancements possible, and we heard a talk at one of our Anger symposiums about the future of lithium batteries and new devices that we can look forward to. The gentleman who spoke from an organization called Call to Recycle talked about basketballs.
That's so fascinating.
That will be able to have a sensor in there so that it will measure how fast you dribble, how often you dribble. And so
if you switch hands, how often you switch hands?
Yeah, so it's fascinating what they're going to be able to do. And I don't know if you want to mention the other one.
No.
No?
I don't. You can mention that one.
Okay,
so
I'll mention the other one.
No,
so
we can.
This is how far technology has come. So when my daughter, who is 47 years old now, when she was born, Pampers were just in their beginning stages, and they didn't work very well. And it was also expensive. It was cheaper for me to use cloth diapers with a diaper surface. So now we move into the 21st century, not only are there going to be Pampers, but they're going to be little lithium batteries in the Pampers. So parents don't even have to go like this. They can look at their app and go, oh, the baby needs to be changed.
I think it's overkill, but yes, I think most parents know when the baby needs to be changed.
Exactly. It's called crying. But so they call it the crap app.
Right.
So I wanted to bring that in because I just think that's so funny.
But just think of how far we went. I mean,
Right.
now you can put, you can have your meat cooking on the grill, and you can be in your house and monitoring on your phone whether your meat is up to the temperature that you want.
And it depends if you have one thermometer for the rare and one for the well done, and you know when you have to go out. It's totally
It is amazing. You can do a lot with batteries today. Your batteries don't have a memory today, which they used to have.
Right.
Used to be they would tell you, don't charge the battery right
Too much,
away.
yeah.
Don't overcharge it. Don't do this. Lithium batteries can stay charged for months without losing their charge, which is a great advancement for things like power tools. And we've come a long way with that, but of course, everything has a price.
Right.
There's no free lunch.
Right. So before we get to the free lunch and the price, so the history of this goes back to a few chemists who were actually looking at the science of how you could use lithium. And they got Nobel Prizes for this work. So if you can tell us a little bit about that, because that's fascinating.
That one,
So,
without that, I don't have all the details.
Right.
But the research was such that, again, people look, lithium's used for a number of things. Lithium is also used in pharmaceuticals.
Right.
So it's the same lithium. What people need to understand is lithium is just a metal. And it can be used for a lot of different things. So what chemists looked at when they were doing their research, what can I do with this stuff? It's very dangerous to work with. Pure lithium by itself will catch fire very quickly. And when I used to teach chemistry, we used to burn it up for fun. You can't do that anymore, but we could then.
You can't have fun anymore.
But it is a dangerous chemical that reacts very quickly. And so they said, well, there's got to be something we can do with this. And that's how that research started. And that's how most pure research starts.
Yes.
I'm curious, what can I do? And they deserve the Nobel Prize.
Exactly. And so much is coming from that little bit of research, or a lot of
amount.
research.
One person discovers, and then somebody else builds on that discovery, and you end up where we are today and where we're going to be in 20 years from now.
And we talked about the small batteries, but the big batteries, I mean, Tesla is all of his cars, right?
Not only all of his cars, but Tesla also sells them for your homes. So it's very possible lithium batteries will be a contingent part of homes being able to be off the grid. Now, right now, you could put a solar system on your roof with battery backup in your house so that during the day the solar runs the house, at night the batteries run the house.
And we are trying to get permission from BPU to do exactly that with our Department of Public Works. Put the solar panels on the roof, get the batteries, put them around the property, save the energy, and when we get all of our electric vehicles in, they can all be charged right there. And if our electric garbage trucks, if we have enough of the storage with the batteries, and let's say there's an outage here at Town Hall and our generator also goes out, the garbage truck can come out here and it can be a generator.
Absolutely, they're showing that today. Several vehicles today, one vehicle today in particular, can be plugged into your home as the backup. And there are pickup trucks coming out next year where they can power your whole home for a day or two.
Right.
Now, that's because of lithium technology, lithium battery technology. The old types of rechargeables could never do this.
Right.
Could never be done.
So let's just hope that the state and the electric companies come on board with the new technology and let us have these smart homes that are resilient.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the next wave. We'll keep
We've
fighting
come
for
a
that.
long way. We've
Yes,
come a
we
long
have.
way.
We really have. And so this is really great. Now, what are the downsides?
So, the biggest downside is end of life for these lithium-ion batteries. They can be dangerous if they are not handled properly. We have had numerous fires at recycling facilities in New Jersey and across the country, from people who think, oh, the battery's recyclable, I'll put it in my curbside recycling bin. We've also had fires in garbage trucks from people thinking, oh, I'll just put it in my garbage. So the biggest takeaway really has to be that residents have to manage, and businesses have to manage their end-of-life rechargeable batteries properly. And luckily in New Jersey, we have a pretty easy way of doing that. New Jersey, many years ago, passed the Rechargeable Battery Management Act that put the onus on manufacturers to pay for the recycling of rechargeable batteries. And this is where that organization that I mentioned earlier, Call to Recycle, comes in, because they are the company that does that for New Jersey and really across the country and in Canada. They work with retail locations, they work with municipalities, they work with businesses to set up drop boxes. And so they have a locator on their website. So if you want to recycle your rechargeable lithium battery from your phone, you punch in your zip code on the website and it tells you the closest location. The closest location in most places are Home Depots and Lowe's. So that is a fantastic program. We've worked with them in our county. We also, and I think most counties also accept them at their household hazardous waste events. So we're having a household hazardous waste event right in Woodbridge on September 18th.
Okay, we'll mark
so
that.
residents can bring their batteries to be safely handled there. So I don't know if you want to talk more about the fires.
Well, the fires are a serious issue with lithium batteries. Remember, I started with lithium as a metal that catches fire in the air or if it gets wet. And these batteries are basically lithium with other elements in them. And what happens is when you take that lithium battery and you put it in the recycling truck improperly, as Carol mentioned, whatever kind of lithium battery. So let me just quickly say everything from vape pens to the little light pens sometimes that people get, to phones, batteries from drills and everything else, and maybe crap batteries as well, will all be dangerous if they're put in a recycling truck. Because then what happens, you're mixing the battery with a metal that can catch fire very easily. And Carol and I have seen those videos, they're amazing. The truck blade, and we're in a garbage truck, hits the battery. And it doesn't have to be a big battery. Think of a vape pen battery, same type of battery. It crushes the metal, which exposes the metal to the air and water, which makes it catch fire. Now it's catching fire in a pile of plastic and paper, which is a very bad combination.
Yes.
And what happens when people put these in the wrong place is it literally, and I have seen steel buildings literally burn to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
That's how hot the fire is.
Wow.
And it's very hard to put out. You can't, flooding it with water doesn't always work right away.
No, and we saw that right here at home with Bayshore.
Exactly.
And that was what, actually the reason why I had this, because I was talking to, we all know Gary Sotomayor.
Sure.
You know, he works for Bayshore and he used to be the chief of staff at DEP, and he is a leader in all kinds of recycling and food waste and whatnot. And we were talking about, you know, that fire. And he says, well, you know, it was caused by lithium battery. And I went, what are you talking about? And then I said, oh, this is really important. We have to get it on my show so people understand. Because I don't think people, first of all, know how dangerous it is. But secondly, they just don't know what to do with batteries.
Exactly.
And if they don't know what to do with the batteries, they might go, well, you know, maybe I should just keep them all in a shoebox over here, which isn't good either.
No, don't keep them in your house either. Let me make that clear as well. Don't be storing up your lithium batteries all together in a box. If you have lithium batteries at home, and you have several of them, let's say, that are rechargeable, that you want to bring to the Middlesex County program or to Home Depot or Lowe's or whomever, you should put tape around the battery so that the positive and negative ends can't touch some other positive or negative end. Just a piece of masking tape. Doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Could you use a baggie with a Ziploc?
Yes.
Absolutely. You could put them in a baggie. Either one would work, as long as the terminal doesn't touch. That's what counts. The terminal's the end. If you remember, as kids, we used to put the little 9 volts on our tongues for thrills. Well,
I didn't do that.
yes, you did. But that's what you don't want happening. But these batteries are really, they're great. They work great. But when they go wrong, they go really wrong. And you've even seen, for example, that some car companies have had to do recalls because the batteries caught fire in the garage because it was a faulty lithium-ion battery. Yeah. This is not to say like our cars are a problem. Anything can go wrong at any time.
Right.
But think of it on a scale where the building has 1,000 tons or 2,000 tons of things that can burn.
Mm-hmm. Mind-boggling.
Yeah, and the issue is really we have not enough recycling facilities in New Jersey to start with. There's only a certain number of single-stream facilities across the state. I think we're less than 20 at this point in time. So anytime we lose a single-stream recycling facility, that causes a huge scramble for the towns to have to find another location to bring their recyclables to. Right. The most recent fire, which was January of earlier this year, a building in Passaic County was the Atlantic Coast Fiber single-stream recycling facility, and that is burned to the ground. As Wayne mentioned, there are videos of it, and it is completely gone. That's going to take a very long time to rebuild and to get up and running, and so that's caused a real problem with finding a market for your single-stream recyclables.
So we talk about, when we talk about recycling, it's all about the environment, but this is really about risk management. It's a scary kind of thing. If we don't do it right, the consequences are terrible. So what you can't do is you can't hoard them and then just take your shoe box to Home Depot.
Right.
You can't obviously put them in the blue bin for recycling because that is the worst
That's the
thing
worst.
to do.
That's the worst.
The worst.
Yes.
Worst.
The worst.
Yes.
You can't put them in your garbage because it's the same kind of thing. It goes in the garbage truck and there goes another fire. What you can do is take them to Lowe's, Home Depot, or go on the website to find out what other locations might be around.
Or bring them to a county household hazardous waste event.
Right.
Which most counties run, at least once a year, twice, or more often.
And we have one coming up here very shortly.
Yes.
So you had a program that's starting right now. Tell us about that.
So because of the fire really in January, this kicked off a conversation between Call to Recycle, who collects the batteries for us, the Association of New Jersey Recyclers, the Association of New Jersey Household Hazardous Waste Coordinators, who are charged with running the household hazardous waste events for the various counties, and Recycle Coach, which is the app that residents can download that will tell them what their recycling and garbage schedule is. It's a free app that can be downloaded on Google Play and the Apple Store. The state of New Jersey has purchased it for all of the counties and towns to use, so I encourage everybody, if they haven't downloaded it, to download. But we all partnered together and we said we need to do something. So Call to Recycle had proposed an Avoid the Spark New Jersey campaign for us. And we've been working over the last couple of months to develop that campaign. I'm happy to announce that we're now doing a slow launch of that campaign. Middlesex County has information on our website about the Avoid the Spark campaign. Anger is shortly going to have something on their website, as well as the Household Hazardous Waste Coordinators Association. Recycle Coach is not only going to have the information available in the app, they're also going to do an educational campaign about it for us in September. And the State of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection is, in another week or so, going to release an infographic. They do Facebook infographics, which are wonderful, short little snippets to give you some information, and they're going to release that infographic for us as well. So it really is a large number of organizations all working together for a common cause. I know Anger is going to tap into our private facility members who own recycling facilities to also get the word out through their contacts. And we're also going to get the information out to the municipalities and our municipal recycling coordinators and our county recycling coordinators so that we can spend the next couple of months really
doing
educating
this.
residents
This is massive. This
about
is
the Avoid the
massive.
Sport campaign.
And Woodbridge is one of the first to hear about this?
Yes.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
really this
You
is
are.
our
The
first,
launch.
This is our first public announcement about it.
That's
yes.
wonderful. So
Yes.
and in truth be told, I wanted to do this earlier, and you said, no, wait till we can launch this.
Yes.
Well, and it's good because one of the things too is that we hope that you'll put it on your website for your town. And
Absolutely.
that we're working with Essex County and getting them to put it on their website. If every town and every county and every coordinator can get this message out,
Right.
it will help. And one thing that Carol mentioned is very important. This has had a huge impact on recycling overall. In Essex County, for example, in Passaic County, towns can't find a home for their cans, bottles, and paper because the buildings burned down.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And it's causing huge disruptions in recycling. And the simplest thing I'll tell people is, if you don't put that battery in the right location, then I want you to take out $100 of your tax dollars and light them up in flames, because that's what you're doing when you put the battery in the wrong spot. You're burning up your tax dollars.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So it's so something we will put it everywhere that we possibly can
Fantastic.
to get
Good.
the word out. So
Fantastic.
that, and then we'll tell all of our residents not only to look at it, but to tell all their friends in other towns and every place else, because this is so important.
Yeah, and it's great because it's a standardized program across
Exactly.
New Jersey. Everybody in the state of New Jersey can use the Call to Recycle website and find out where the nearest location is to bring their rechargeable batteries. And everyone has a county household hazardous waste coordinator that they can call up and ask questions.
So let me ask a question, because you keep talking about rechargeable batteries. Are batteries that you use once and then they're done and they're not rechargeable? They're not lithium and they
There
don't
are
fall into
there are two
this?
types.
Yeah.
Okay, there are alkaline batteries, which are what you and I normally go to the store and buy. They're the less expensive battery, I'll put it that way.
Right.
Those can go into the regular solid waste, regular garbage.
Okay,
And they're
that's good to
harmless
know.
today for the most part. Most of the heavy metals, 99.9% of the mercury has been removed. It's not really dangerous. They are very hard to recycle, very expensive to recycle, and you don't get much for them. You can also buy lithium batteries that are one-time use, which also contain lithium and are also dangerous to put in the regular garbage. If you look carefully at a lithium one-time battery, although how you're supposed to read the little
I was
language,
just going to ask you, how do you tell?
Yeah.
there's language written
Yes.
on there, but it's in very tiny print. They should not go in the household garbage, and they definitely shouldn't go in the recycling. They should come to the household hazardous waste disposal days that are run by the counties, or they should be taken again to the Home Depot or Lowe's. They can take those. They don't like them as much, but they'll take them.
Yeah. So maybe it's a policy of safe rather than sorry.
Yes.
If you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, if you see the word alkaline, you know it's an
It's
alkaline
okay.
battery. You can throw it in the trash. We've had residents call us and say, "I can't see what that battery says," and we'll tell them we'll bring it to our household
Exactly.
hazardous waste day. We'd rather you bring it to us, and if we can't determine what it is, then we'll make sure it gets handled, as a hazardous material.
Err on the side of caution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring
Yes.
it to us. Would much rather come to a household hazardous waste day and pay a few dollars to get rid of that battery
Yes.
Right.
than have us burn down a building.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So this has been so informative, and I really think it's a topic that most people need to know more about.
They absolutely do.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I so appreciate that you came in. Now, we have a few minutes left, so if you would like to just wrap this up or add in something new that's happening.
A lot of new stuff is happening. I mean, we have a lot of New Jersey is really very progressive on recycling, and I'd say we're a leader at this point.
We always have been.
And we do have the battery laws. We have electronics recycling. That's another side of this that we don't talk about so much. When you put your electronic devices, like a computer or a laptop, for example, we haven't talked about those technically. People take those laptops and they put them in the blue bin. But those laptops have a lithium battery,
Right.
so
So
it
same
becomes the
thing.
same problem.
Yeah.
But we have a law in New Jersey that says manufacturers must accept those electronics for recycling at no charge.
Right.
So we encourage residents, televisions, electronic devices of all kinds, computers, laptops, get them to an electronics recycler, and they will take care of those. Don't try to take the batteries out yourself. I have had people
Yes.
ask me, can I
Do
just
not,
take the...
yeah.
Don't
No.
do that. Because
Good
the odds are
advice.
very good you're going to get hurt. That's something else to mention. We have responsible laws that say, make sure if you make it, you take it back. The goal, by the way, is that we can get those batteries back. We're not there yet, to recycle the lithium. That's where we need to be.
Very interesting. So I just got a letter from Infinity that my, whatever that is, that computer thing under my desk, it needs to be replaced.
Okay.
And so they're sending me the free replacement, but I have to send back that tower.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll be charged for it. So I think that's exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly what we want to see. We want to see that stuff come back to get recycled. We don't want it in the garbage. We don't want it in the landfill. We want to see it get recycled. And that's extraordinarily important. I can't emphasize that enough.
Right.
But we have that ability. And you're seeing, the next thing you'll see in a recycling center is one to just recycle the batteries. That'll be the next thing you'll see more of.
Right.
Because we need that lithium. There's a limited amount on the planet.
And that will be recycled.
That's what we need to get to.
And Carol, just a few words from you, but the county does a marvelous job in coordinating
Carol.
recycling. Yes,
Thank
you.
I
Fantastic.
do want to mention our website. We have a website with a vast amount of information on it, including information about our household hazardous waste events, including information about batteries and the links to where to find the battery locator, which is www.middlesex.county.nj.gov/recycle. And that brings you right to our solid waste management homepage. I also like to mention our phone number, if that's okay.
And we'll put it up on
Okay.
streaming underneath the
Okay,
show.
so that's 732-745-4170. If any residents or businesses ever have questions, we are there to answer them. We're there to help. Thank you for putting this out and getting this
great.
information out. This has been extremely helpful, and we love working with Woodbridge.
we love the help that
Yes,
you give us, and
yes.
we are very thankful for Audrey.
Yes, Audrey is working on getting a styrofoam recycling machine for the township of Woodbridge.
That's something we really want.
That
so
we
that's
are,
great.
we are hopefully going to help with. So look
Thank
forward
you,
to that.
thank you.
Yes.
That is great. Well, this has been a really informative and fun show, and I am sure that we're going to see good results from it.
I hope so.
Because people do pay attention.
I hope so.
So thank you so much for spreading the word. And what's it? Stop the spark?
Avoid
Avoid
the
the
spark.
Avoid the spark.
Avoid the spark,
Avoid
yes.
the spark. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Greenable Woodbridge and being part of the change and part of the excitement.